So when did you get to Austin?
I got here 3 years now, maybe even 4.
3 years, 4 years.
Right when COVID was opening up, like the restrictions in Texas. Because I had a place, me and my roommate were going to move to LA. We had a place already signed for, and then COVID hit. And we're like, oh, it's only 2 weeks. We're chilling out. We just had 2 weeks of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it became 2, 3, 4, 5 months, we're like, we're not going to move to LA just to pay crazy rent and just sit and go broke out there.
Yeah.
So we got out of the lease, thank God. And then
where was your lease?
we were living in West Hollywood. We found like a place near like where the store was going to be, where the store, we're going to be right in the mix of it. And then COVID hit, and then you heard rumblings of like Joe moving down here, and he was talking about we're going to build a club and start our own scene. And I was like, I'm a Texas guy. I love Texas. I grew up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. And even if it doesn't work out, even if he decided to just move here, do his own thing, I was like, oh, I'll go fuck around for like a year or two. When LA opens back up, I'll just fly out there when it's up and rolling again. And then this place just got crazy, and I was like, there's no need.
So what happened in LA when the shutdown started happening as far as comedy? Because I know here in Texas,
in Dallas. I was in Dallas.
Oh, you were in Dallas.
Yeah. So I started comedy in Dallas. Okay. And we were planning on making the LA move. I was going to try to get in at the store.
Did you ever perform out there though?
I did California? Like twice, and it was fine. I don't know. I think when you start comedy out here, I kind of love it because you have Dallas, which is kind of like uppity, white liberal. But even in Dallas, then you have black rooms, you have Hispanic rooms, even in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah. So like you have like the Arlington Improv is a black room. And as a young white kid from the suburbs, fucking learning how to kill in that room, that's like a fun. It's the most nerve-wracking thing as a nerdy white comic to go in front of all black audience, because if you bomb, they're gonna let you know, and if you're killing, they're gonna let you know. It's the highest kill, but it's also the lowest bomb, because they're not just gonna sit there quiet, polite like white people. They're gonna be like, they're gonna shout shit out. Yeah. Oh, no one likes you, white boy. Like
no shit.
Yeah, but it makes you stronger. Yeah. So you had that in Dallas, but then you had like Laredo, where I would go to like Laredo. I would go border towns, do stand up, and
they stab you if you do a bad job out there.
Yeah, honestly, Mexicans like me, dude. Mexicans are like my top fan. The amount of times I've done gigs where it's like big cholo looking guys with just gold going like, hey bro, can we get like a selfie? Like you just like say it how it is and shit. No, I'm like, all right, yeah, fellas, let's do it. It's like, I don't know why they relate with me, but I think it's just a shit talk culture, and I like to make fun of everybody on stage. So I think they're like, oh, these white guys cool as shit. Yeah. It's like I'm not picking side. I'm not trying to. I'm gonna shit on you if you're acting up. I'm gonna shit on them if they're acting up. I don't. But that's why I love Texas, because then you'd go to Houston, which would be a totally different vibe. San Antonio. So I was like, man, I wish Texas had something to let us stay here, but there was really no industry. There was really no
spot.
Yeah, there was like a ceiling you could hit, and I felt like in Dallas, I hit that ceiling where I was like, I'm working all the clubs, I'm featuring at most of the clubs, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to get stuck here. And then when this happened, I was like, fuck, the ceiling just rose another 150 levels. So
you got here before Joe got here?
No, Joe had moved here, and I moved here like after Tony moved here, after the Kill Tony moved. So like 2 weeks, because that's when I knew, oh, okay, it's not just Joe. Because I think if it was just like maybe one guy moves here, I'll just do like a residency, it'll be my thing, you know what I mean? But then once I saw like Tony move here and then Brian Simpson move here, I was like, oh, like some really good comedians are moving here. This is how a scene gets started, because you need established guys, because without them, you're just not selling tickets.
And so how does that work for like a young aspiring comedian, say you 10 years ago? All right. You're just trying to break into the scene. Nobody knows who you are except your local friends.
Yeah.
Like, what do you just start following them and you just start where, oh, they just all moved over here, let me go over there and just kind of get your way in? Like, what does that look like for a very young comedian and trying to get into the scene?
Dude, I was kind of lucky because I was in college and I was working on our late night TV show. We had like a kind of like a Conan O'Brien style TV show at my college. And I was the head writer my senior year. And I had just gotten dumped. And me and my buddy Nick Fields, who's a funny comic, he lives out in New York now. I just gotten dumped and I was being depressed and sad. And we're working on like some little package for the show. And he goes, hey, man, you've always talked about wanting to do stand-up. I really think now is the time to do it because we're going to graduate in 6 months. You had this whole life planned, and now that's not going to happen. So why not try this out if you like it? This might give you direction now that you're looking for a new direction in life. So that week I just went out to the open mic at Hyenas. I got there at like 7:30 to sign up and then get on stage until like 1:20 a.m. and just sat there. I did that every Wednesday for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then I would do like 3 or 4 other mics during the week. But yeah, just to get in that club, I was like, that's the club. I want to try to get in that.
What does that feel the first night? Your name's on the list. You know it's your turn coming. You said you got there at 7:30, but you didn't go on until what, 6 hours later?
6 hours later. It's crazy because you get there and you're like, you're like, oh my God, these guys all must be like amazing and professionals. Because then the first 2 blocks go up because it would be in blocks. Like first block, I was like block 8. So the first blocks, it's all the working Dallas comics. And you're like, whoa, these guys are amazing. And there's like 70 people in the crowd just crushing. And you're like, man, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to be awful. I'm going to, why even try this? And then you'd get to like block 5 or 6. And that's when like the pseudo drug addicts and homeless people start going up. You know, there's like 8 people in the crowd and they're just rambling nonsense. And you're just like, oh, I can do this. I think I can do better than the homeless guy. Like I literally watched a guy come up from underneath the train tracks. There was a train next to the club. He came under the train tracks to sign up for the mic. And after a set, he'd go back under.
What?
Yeah. And he was, for the first 2 months of comedy, he was on a better spot than I was. And I was like, I need to get at least, my one goal is to just at least get a better spot than that guy.
Wow. But, underneath the train track, what do they got underneath there?
There was just like a little, so it was like a bridge. So the train tracks, there was like a little bridge, but he lived underneath, next to the club. But he was on block like 7, and I'm block 8, and I'm like, I gotta get better at least than him. And
you just roll out of bed and came upstairs.
He signed up just to go right back under his bridge for 3 hours until he has to go up. But no, I remember, going up at 1:20. There's like 3 people left in the crowd, and I got like a chuckle, and I was like, okay, that felt good. Got one chuckle, and it was cool. And then that night it was cool too because I met my buddy Daniel Magden. I met my buddy Javoris James. Like those are one's in New York and one's still in Dallas, but like those are buddies for life. And I remember just sitting there waiting for hours and hours, going from like nervous to like, should we just go home, to nervous again, to like, man, what are we going to do? Is this even worth it, to sticking through it, and then watching each other, and then that car ride home, you know, getting fucking fast food on the drive home and just talking about each other's sets and how awesome it was, even though we just performed in front of 3 people. It was, it was cool.
That's awesome. It's awesome to hear that story because I started reading Steve Martin's Born Standing Up. Yeah. You read that? And you know, he talks about like starting off, he wanted to be a magician, and he realized, you know, he was entertaining the crowd, but he was really more entertaining them with his comedy, not so much the magic side of it. And there was like a ceiling to the magic, right? You can only do so much without a bankroll behind you to afford the bigger, more expensive tricks. And so, that's kind of like how he rolled into this, and he goes through all the different phases of life. But the best part of the book is when he's young and he's talking about, trying to figure this out and kind of like the science behind coming up with jokes. And it's a lot of stuff for us as the viewers, the crowd. We're just there to laugh. If you make us laugh, we laugh and we clap. But for you guys, it's really like, this is a grind. This is a day in or night in, night out kind of a grind. And, from being around that arena for the last 5 years, I've noticed that, like your schedules you're on graveyard shift.
It's crazy. And
it is a job. Yeah. It's, these people show up every single day, and it's like when they get up on stage, it'd be like if I worked at Home Depot and I'm working, this is my 5th day in a row I've worked there, and I got to show up at Home Depot and I got to jump around and make people laugh. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's still a job, but your job happens to be making people have a great night.
And it's crazy seeing, I don't know if you've seen it, but like when people are about to go up and maybe they're having like a rough day, and they're just like, man, I don't really want to go up, and blah, blah. But then right when their name gets called, hey, how's it going? It's that's the job, is the having to be in the moment of maybe making them, hey, I know fucking life sucked today, but I got to go up there and fucking give them a show. They paid $40. That's one thing I think I've had like I don't know. Because do you remember when like one of the first live shows you've seen and the artist kind of phoned it in and how it made you feel? Yeah. Like I remember going to see some concert. I don't remember. I think it was Jared Leto's band. What's it called?
I didn't even know he had
3 Days Grace or something. But it was like a rock festival in San Antonio, and he just went up hammered. And he just phoned it in, and it was like just awful. And I remember just sitting there just going like, I'm like a sophomore in high school, and I'm just like, dude, fuck you. Yeah. Like, we paid $40 to be here, parking. Like, I'm here for Weezer, but you're still a part of the show. Like, and to me, I think after that, it's always been like instilled in me, like, no matter how I feel, the crowd is going to get a show. Even if they hate me, or if I'm bombing, I'm going to put on the face. I might make fun of them. I might, Tesla around, but I'm never going to show up like drunk or like too fucked up where I can't give them at least the best of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I'm curious too. So the other day we were at the Mothership, and one of the comedians, we were laughing because they were like on acid.
Oh yeah.
And so like he comes off stage and he's like, whoa, that was awesome. And he's like way more talkative than he normally is, and it's just like he was having the time of his life. And then he talked to us for a few minutes, and then he like walked off. And then the other girl's another comedian. She's like, I don't know how the fuck he does that. He does it all the damn time. He's on fucking acid, and like full on acid trip. And he's fucking on stage like murdering. But
that's the difference. He knows.
No paranoia.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but that guy has a talent where he almost opens up more. So when it's like a comic like that can like open up more and be a little bit more free.
How so?
I think, I don't know. I think when he goes up on acid, he just, where I think most people would get scared and go, oh my God, people are judging me. He almost has a like, oh, you guys are all just warped little silly little animals. Who gives a shit? I'm just going to say whatever. So to him, it makes him more open. So when I watch him, I'm like, oh, this is funny. But if I did that, I know for a fact I would probably do 3 minutes and then I'd go, all right, that's my time. Have a good night. And then just get off. Like what was it? It was like 3 weeks ago. I thought I took a 5 milligram edible. I like taking like a little one. So I take the edible. I'm driving downtown from my spot, and I park my car, and I'm like, I'm high. I'm like high. Like, and not like a 5 milligram. I'm like, and I look at the box, and I had accidentally grabbed the 50 milligram edibles and not my 5s. The ones I take to go to bed that I eat half of. So I'm like, oh shit, I have a spot in 45 minutes. I'm hosting the Sunday show in Fat Man. So I literally am just in the green room, just waiting to go up, just like, fuck. And I go out, I do a set. Dude, at one point they laughed, and I got scared. Like, I got a big laugh, and I was like, fuck. I got like scared. I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't read the clock. It was like warped. And then I saw the blue light that says, hey, you only have 2 minutes left.
Oh, boy.
I was like, thank God. It was like a sign of God going like, you're almost home.
Were the jokes hitting though?
Jokes were hitting. But I was like, I don't know if they know I'm high. The whole time I'm in my head. I couldn't be free. Where, you know, when I'm like sober or I have like one drink in me, I can be a little bit more loose. I can talk to the crowd. I can go, oh, this joke is killing. Let me just add on to it. Let me see how far I can take it.
You were just like, get me the fuck out of here as quick as possible.
I was literally just
use what works.
Joke for joke.
Yeah.
It was very like my late night set. Just we're going punchline to punchline to punchline. Where the other comic, I'm envious of it. He can go up and just be free and it works. Where I think you just have to know who you are.
Right. Yeah.
As a performer. It's crazy.
If you like this content, please subscribe. That'll help us be able to get more sponsors so we can pump out more episodes.
Guys, look at me. Shawn needs you. I know he looks like tough and cool, but he like cries a lot. He goes, if I don't get a Slim Jim membership, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay rent. I'm like, Shawn, you have another job. You're just spending too much money on, those tight shirts. Cut your shirt budget. But yeah, like and subscribe.